Muda, Brenda, Jessica, Susan, Scarlett, Buda papira papa, scrata da dee da da da. Collab of awesome.
Once upon a time, in a little canal town in upstate New York, a troublemaker and a popular girl fell in love. A few years after they graduated high school, they got married, bought a little pink house, and a little black cat. And a few years after that, they had a little pink baby, and that was me. 3 months later, my mom's sister also had a little pink baby, and that was Christy. Then Christy's mom went back to work, and my mom didn't, and for the next 10 years, I was essentially raised as a twin. It was kind of fun to have a best friend to do everything with, but I started school a year ahead of Christy, and that's how things started to change. I fell in love with books, and she stuck to Barbie dolls. I wanted to be a veterinarian, and she wanted to be a hairdresser. Our report cards kind of looked different, too. By the time I started middle school, we were the opposite of best friends. But I still lived with that troublemaker and that popular girl in our little pink house with 3 little black cats, so everything was okay. Until the troublemaker caused trouble, and there were kids who didn't really like nerdy girls. And a lot of my friends stopped liking to hang out with nerdy girls too. Stuff got kind of overwhelming for a while, but I still had books. One weekend, in 8th grade, my class took a trip to a place called Cornell, and suddenly I knew where I wanted to be. I found out that it was an amazing vet school, but that it was really expensive and hard to get into. Mom told me that if I really wanted to chase that dream, I better get a scholarship. But things started to look up after that. I got to high school, and I found a group of friends who liked me just the way I was. There was a girl at my high school who made YouTube videos, and because of her, I started to discover an online community that I absolutely fell in love with. And the popular girl and the troublemaker managed to stay friends, and the new guy and his kids were pretty okay too. And then, when I got home from a dance one night in senior year, my mom was waiting up. And before I knew it, I had everything I'd always wanted. I joined cool clubs and fell in love with owls. I made great friends and had dinner with them every single night. I did quintessential college things, like being in a flash mob. And right at the beginning of my sophomore year, I started talking to some strangers on the internet. Little did I know. It ended up being perfect timing, because over the course of that year, many of my friends left Cornell, we grew apart, or they just flat out stopped talking to me. But I also discovered something that year that would change my life and my goals for the future. By the time junior year came and went, I had become vice president of a flourishing guide dog community, gotten my own puppy, made lots of lasting friends, and finally found a way to meet 3 of my 4 favorite internet friends, who also happen to be some of my best friends in general. And now, well, I'm 5 weeks away from having no idea what I'm doing with my life, and I'm kind of terrified. But I have books, and friends, and puppies, so I think I'll be alright.